Trump
particular.
to cut drug prices by more than half, at least, with a pharmaceutical executive order. Some of this language, I thought, is this Donald Trump or Bernie Sanders talking? You know, the Americans are getting ripped off. We got to be fair. What's your take on it?
So while the market was up, well, it's a couple-fold, right? So while the market was up, we saw stocks like Eli Lilly, some of the market leaders as of recently, getting hit pretty hard on this, because this means that they could be taken on the chin, and this would be your big pharma, right? Merck, GlaxoSmithKline, so et cetera. And so what we want to figure out is what's the reality here. So by his executive order, what he's saying, Chip, is, hey, we're not going to pay for the rest of the world, which I agree with. The philosophy of, if you don't know, all the R&D that big pharma puts, which is about $2 billion per drug, to get it to market. So they spend money they deserve in a capitalistic society to be able to price their drug to get recouped on their investment. There's a couple of ways to make this much easier. They start the patent, just so you know, these patents typically run 20 years in the pharmaceutical world, but they start the patent the day you discover and patent the drug, Chip, but it might take you another 12 years to get it to market, right? Through clinical trials, testings, there's multiple phases.
So it's still not paying off for
right.
you.
Well, they do. They have a 6 to 8 year window to get all their money back, right?
Okay.
They've been spending R&D and scientists research. So that's why these prices are to the moon. Now, look, I mean, I know exactly what's going on in my whole household right now. Spending a lot of money on some therapeutics, et cetera. So here's the deal. The rest of the world gets contract pricing, right? And they have a socialist state of medicine. So some countries in the EU are paying $9 for a product you are paying $900 for.
Oh, so we're getting gouged here.
Absolutely.
Okay,
So what
all
he's
right.
doing is either those other countries are going to have to step up and pay more, or our pharmaceutical companies are going to have to take less here to deal with the government, because he's going to say, look, we're going to, any government entity that's buying these drugs, so Medicare, Medicaid, et cetera, has to get the contractually best price. What's wrong with that? Not only, though, inside our borders, but outside as well.
Yes. Okay.
So I believe what you're going to see is these companies are going to have to renegotiate their contracts with other countries and make them pay more, and they're going to have to squeeze their margin down. So they're going to probably do a mix of both. We don't know how the reaction is going to be, but as you and I, as John Q. taxpayer, and as American consumers, this is a win.
So it's not a socialist communist rant against big pharma. It's, hey, big pharma.
Stop taking all the blood from one of the honeypots, which is the American consumer. Right.
You need to make money on this. You need to make a profit. We understand. Let's just make sure everybody's paying a fair share, bearing some of the burden for this.
Most people don't understand the full cost of healthcare, because they get their healthcare, or 80% of Americans get their healthcare through their employer, right?
Okay.
Very common. And you don't understand how much your employer pays on your behalf. Most employers are paying over 70% of the freight of your healthcare expenditure. So when you pay that payroll deduction to sign up for the benefits, you're paying a small piece of it. And we went through 2 over 30% back-to-back rate increases on our group plan here the last couple of years, and I ended up changing to a different style plan. Now you guys get to buy your own insurance, and I give you a tax-free reimbursement called an ICRA, right? I had to make adjustments as a small employer to be able to afford to continue even giving the benefit, because here's the thing, Chip. If you go back to 2010, it was single digits of that healthcare expense went to the pharmaceutical part of the healthcare. It's at like almost 30% now. So now, and just look at TV commercials. 3 out of 5 commercials when you're watching sports on the weekend, the only TV I really watch is a pharmaceutical commercial. Ask your doctor about so-and-so. And then they list off 65 different things that could happen to you. I'm
side
like,
effects.
What does that really do? Is it really net benefit? But anyway, a joke. But listen, pharmaceuticals have been pushing marketing, et cetera. And who's paying for that marketing? It's not cheap. Right. You and I are. And so now he's trying to spread the load around. Okay. And again, RFK even wants to stop them from advertising. We'll see how that works out. But bottom line, hopefully that does drive the end user price down, and it drives the cost of our government's medical spending down, which is over 50% of all healthcare expenditures in the United States today.